If you like me, then today's your day. I'm making another video. There's something to be said about putting in some work just to put it in. Like, I know you're like, this ain't much work, but I mean, like today I had to load 2 videos because on my first one I had boogers, and hey, we got some cops up here. You see the lights ahead? Maybe today will be the day I catch a stray. No, it's not real work as in the sense that it's like a job or anything. I enjoy it. But there's always something to learn. Just pulling up the editing software, there's always something to learn. You know, you realize in life that it's not as like you see on the news, unless you're living in Chicago and Milwaukee or in Houston or something. Like, there's nobody getting killed or not anywhere around me. I mean, it happens, actually. For the most part, when you see red and blue lights around here, it's somebody just getting a ticket, or there might be a warrant arrest or something. But these are them dump apartments. Yeah, we got a couple cops there. Are they turning or something? They're not using their blinker. So we got a couple cops up here. The kids hanging out watching just like we are. Nothing to see yet. Now I completely forgot where I was going. Oh yeah, I'm going this way. Like I said, I will bring you first-hand video of anything major that happens, but what in the hell is this now? Religious garments or something? Oh man, I don't know what's going on. We already got Christmas displays up. What, have I crossed over through the dimension of time and reality or some shit? Yep, this is it. This is the Overdose Hotel right here. This is it. You want to get a big bag of dope and shoot it, and they found a couple guys dead here over the years, hanging right out the windows, and like I said, right over here is the fish store where I've seen Oscars and piranha as big as the one as I got for that I took on right here, this Advance. They sell them for $500. So, ooh, she's windy today. Oh yeah, she's real windy. I'll cut over and take the back way. Cut down some of the sound. I don't mind wearing a helmet, but recently I haven't been because there's something really enjoyable about the wind. So I've been doing a lot of riding, but none of it on camera because I tried adding a mount here, but it's just too windy, and it's just... Now every time I see one of these Teslas, this one ain't a cop, but I gotta like make sure, you know. Now we're getting those type of Teslas in Green Bay, a bunch of them, cops. There's that new Circle K. It's okay, they got a lot of slushies, but... I'm taking the long way to Walmart because I got nothing to do, and all I need is a 12-pack of Mountain Dew bottles for $7 or whatever they are. The wind's coming straight at me out of the south here, so. Wow, What do we got here? A little retention pond. That's different. I don't remember ever going by that. I should try to fish that one day. I don't. Is that here year round? I doubt it. That's the thing people don't realize about retentions and stuff like that. Even small lakes, if you don't aerate them, you're not going to catch the fish die off. They completely freeze. They got to be deep or they freeze. I'm like going 10 miles an hour under the speed limit, so I'm in no rush. Maybe I'll cross over on the other side here instead of going the way I usually go, and I'll take Broadway. Usually I would make a right here and then make a left on what's called Holmgren Way. Let me see. Do I want to wait in line? Let's see if the light turns or not. Let's see. Ah, fuck it. You could sit and wait for too long. Eons. The raising electric rates again, it was 8 cents a kilowatt hour. If you don't know what that means if you were to run 1,000 watts straight for an hour, that's a kilowatt hour. That's what they charge you on. And it used to be 7 cents, 6 cents at night, called off-peak hours. And now they're going up to like, I don't know, double for sure, but maybe more. In here I go get the yellow anyway, so it don't even matter, right? I mean, it's ridiculous. It's going to be like 20 cents or something per kilowatt hour. Like, it's going to be, it's just, it's pure greed at this point. Pure greed. It has nothing to do with natural inflation. When it went in 10 years, it's gone up 3 times. That's not just natural inflation anymore. That's pure greed. It's just pure greed. What can you do about it? Nothing. Twist, I've never been in there. What the hell is that place? It always looks like a mixed drink. Then we had an awesome, over there used to be a really cool store that was all discounted clothing and stuff, and of course it didn't stay in business. The only place I ever go to, I got these shoes I'm wearing there for like $30 at these, stuff like that. And of course, you know, they couldn't sell enough to stay in business. Here's the Marcus Cinema. They get a good crowd, actually, at this side of town. The other one's going to be shut down. Nobody goes to movies out there anymore. And here it's nothing but trouble. They have the Tuesday nights, certain nights of the week, you know, and it's nothing but trouble. People throwing rocks at kids, throwing rocks at cars. That's why I go to the one on the east side. But yeah, I'm not in any hurry whatsoever right now. I was talking about my job there. I thought that last video was good for a little vlog. I only had to shoot it twice because of goddamn booger in my nose. I've lost about 10 videos to boogers. They're there. I just turned them off because they're just too embarrassing. Like, because if I watch one, I'd be like, "You're an idiot. How can this guy not know he's got a booger? It's gross. You're gross, dude. Fuck you. I'm scrolling off your page. I'm never subscribing. Are you crazy? You're not smart enough to even..." Like, that's how I feel about myself, you know? Man, I should have not been in this lane. I hate that. When somebody blocks you on the right lane like that, and I'm doing it to other people, it's horrible. But he wasn't turning, but you know what I mean? When you're in the right lane and you're not turning. Sometimes I enjoy the safety of a helmet and like hiding behind it where like people don't know who I am. But there's something really different about not wearing a helmet. So I do both. I don't know if other riders that watch my video, if anybody rides, does the same thing. When you don't have one on, it's a real different, I don't know. If you feel comfortable with it, it doesn't feel dangerous. It just feels more open and free. If I get T-boned, I don't think I'm making it, guys. Yeah, I I don't think a helmet's going to help. In certain situations, it might help. I mean, I guess you roll. I doubt it, dude. You get T-boned, and that's your number one accident. Like if I were to creep out in traffic right now and somebody ran this red light per se, and they were coming this way and hit me, I'm dead. It would, and that's going to be 90% of your accidents on a motorcycle. If I do 80 miles an hour into a brick wall, I'm dead. I like it more for the anonymity, being anonymous. Like on a day like today, I like being anonymous. It's almost like nobody knows who you are. You know that feeling where you're anonymous? I like that sometimes. And then sometimes I'm open and free. And it's like on the days that I'm having a good day and I feel open and free and I'm not trying to hide it myself, everybody seems to notice me. People wave. And then on days like today, everything just seems to go wrong and I just seem miserable and I'm in my shell today. And my biggest regret in life is not being 16 years old and signing up for the military, 17, 18. Probably one of my biggest regrets. Making a career out of that. I didn't even think about it. I was too concerned about stealing and acting stupid and being on drugs, but I messed that up. Oh well. You can only pray that there's something more after this world. That's all we can do is pray that there's more to this than this world. Scientifically, it's doubtful. The only thing I say about that is scientists don't seem to know that, like, they still don't have an answer for the universe. So as much as I wholeheartedly agree with science, and, I understand it, they're not convinced that the math is math, and, like the math on Earth works with our form of gravity, essentially. But the moment you start getting into these black holes, and these huge planetary systems, and these huge fucking you start getting in these planetary systems and shit, and these huge gravitational forces. I thought I heard something on my motorcycle. The math doesn't math, you know what I mean? The math as we know it doesn't seem to add up when you start talking about Big Bang pressures and, big time planetational gravitational pull and stuff. The math just starts to fall apart that we use for our everyday. You want to throw a baseball in there and know where it's going to land on Earth. That's simple science, okay? You want to throw that same baseball into a black hole and all hell breaks loose. Like the math says that we would never see it cross the barrier of the black hole because time would stop to us. Like nothing adds up. Even though it would be ripped to shreds, we would see it as it's still on the event horizon of the black hole because of the gravitational pull towards light. We wouldn't actually see it cross over into the black hole. Like nothing adds up scientifically. Like, so it leaves speculation open for theological debate, right? They haven't closed the theological gap to debate, the science behind whether or not there's a afterlife yet, I'm sure they're trying to disprove God, don't get me wrong. Science and God kind of do butt heads. A lot of people want to say they don't, and It's the natural order of things is that there's almost one or the other. It doesn't have to be that way, but essentially it will become every day that more and more science essentially pushes it into the debate every day, you know, like butt heads one way or the other, right? So yeah, I took the long way to, I'm having complete existential thought process on my way to Walmart right now to get a 12-pack of soda. Look at that little sailboat. I've been seeing that a lot. A little too small for me. $490. There you go. You can live right on it. Take that baby right on the ocean and sink. You wouldn't last long on the ocean than that. Who knows? Maybe like a bobber. It's fresh water you got to worry about. These Hondas and stuff, as you can see here, they've almost Americanized. Even their look looks American, you know? Like, you used to know a Honda. If you were to take that badge off, I don't know if I could say that I knew that was a Honda anymore. Like, they've completely gone away from what they should have embraced. A different look. Like, their Honda Preludes, you had, remember the history of Honda in the early 90s, their Civics, and now they're going this American look? It's just dumb. Like, they've gotten away from their bread and butter and they don't even know it. Like, the whole idea of a Honda was to know you had a Honda, you know? Like, it was different. It's just, there's another one. It's just not a good idea to Americanize the look and the, I don't know, man. We don't want another American car. We want to know we were buying a Honda. We want to know we were driving something Japanese. See Toyotas that go by, they still look Japanese. We wanted Japanese because we wanted a Japanese maker. That's why I'm driving this right now, this Yamaha. I don't want a fucking American car or American motorcycle. If I wanted one, I'd go get one. We wanted a Honda. We wanted to know that what we were driving was built and designed by Japanese, not the Americans, because they're better at what they do. And now you're going to Americanize it? No, thank you. No, thank you. That's why I always say Toyota. You can see Toyota. You can still see the Toyota lines. Honda's lost almost every line. Original, like, manufacturer lines, you know, like design lines of the old Hondas. Now you can't even tell one line on the car is a Honda. The old the Toyotas are still holding their form, you know. Won't be long. And I come here and I don't even know why I'm going here because I just want to hide in a box right now, you know. I'm at a down point in my life. I don't feel great mentally, you know. I definitely need an oil change on the bike. It's been thousands of miles now. Pretty hard miles too, not extreme, not track miles or anything, but I came all the way here for a 12-pack of Mountain Dew. That's the shit I do because I'm just in my own head, you know what I'm saying? Man, and then I'll get here and I don't even want to go in. I don't know if I'm emotionally prepared to walk around Walmart right now. I'm serious. Doesn't that sound crazy? I don't think I'm emotionally ready for this. I really don't. I'm ready to turn around and just call it a day. Some days you want attention and shit, and today I don't. No, it sounds pretty good. you got to stay in tune with your vehicle. Stay in tune with your machine at all times, the sound of it. Yeah, that was a fun 20-minute ride, and I never did get the Mountain Dew. I'm over. Do I go in there? Should I go in there? Oh, I don't want to. I really don't fucking want to walk around in there. Can you believe that? I came all the way here for nothing. I'm not going in. Fuck it, I don't want to. I don't want to. Something about it today, I'm just not feeling it. I'm not fucking feeling it. Walking in there to get 12 Mountain Dews. I got enough for the night, I think. I got a couple. I got a good ride. Looks like my fork seal finally stopped leaking, and I think there's a little left in there. I don't weigh nothing. Christ. People ride these bikes are 300, 400 pounds. Big guys. I'm 180 pounds. So I would think that a little bit of oil will stay in the forks just because of my size alone, you know. That half of the oil will probably stay in there because I'm not putting as much pressure on the forks as a bigger guy. I don't even want to go in there. F it, I'm not gonna. It'll give me a reason to ride the bike another day. This is my life. It is fucking boring, huh? Man, I think about jumping on this highway right here, right over there. That's the exit out of my life. Maybe I'll take my cell phone and just throw it right off the fucking bridge, you know, on the way. Make up a name for myself. Right? Boom! Just take off and throw my phone right over the fucking bridge. Call it a day. Just for a while. Could you imagine the feeling? Obviously, I love people in my life. And this is just talk. But could you imagine the freedom of doing something like that? Just saying, I'm done with this society, and I'm just gonna fucking hit the highway 1 hour at a time a day. Just drive 1 hour, and you find somewhere 1 hour only per day, and it would take you 30 days a month to get to California. It's about 3,000 miles, right? So every day you drive 1 hour towards, say you're going to San Diego, you set your waypoint. It's 2,800 miles, so that's 100 miles a day, let's say. 28 days. You got your tent, right? So you go behind a bus like this or something, right? Just for reference, you know, somewhere in a field, you pop your tent up where people don't get to see you're only going to be there for one night, right? Next to a river, and just go into town. You know what I mean? Whatever town you finally fall in love with, or you know what I mean? Have a couple beers, you know, and on to the next town the next day. Wash up in a river, hit the bike another 100 miles the next day. Hit all the weird little towns, go down Route 66, or... Right? Just imagine. Could you imagine I've traveled a lot, but never like that. And the older I get, that's probably what I should have done. Now I kind of feel like I missed out on it, you know. I was so afraid to be alone when I was young. I still don't want to be alone, but it was debilitating back then. Once you get a little older, nobody wants to be alone. Nobody wants to be alone. I understand. It's miserable, especially with bipolar and stuff. But when I was young, it wasn't an option. I will find somebody to be with. I will not be alone. I had to have somebody around. If I'm left with my thoughts, it would have been suicide. Bikes always make funny noises. Always. Always. I've never went all the way up there. I wonder if I should do it just to check it out. Why wouldn't I? There's always a different little noise it's going to make on an older bike. Just hope it ain't the motor. Or, what the hell? Look at these beautiful. Little chicken here. I never checked if this went through, if I even had to turn another way. And look at this. I think it goes all the way through. So I came all the way out here and never did get my Mountain Dew. Look at it, does. All the way through it goes. That's crazy. I could have done this forever. Learn something new every day. Shifting on these older bikes, if you're going to get an older one, you know, because they're going to be the ones you're going to find a lot of are the older Honda CBRs, Yamaha R6s, R1s, R6, lots and lots of weird noises I've had over the years with this one. I mean, like the shifting, you know, I've had to adjust the shifter quite a few times, and because it would clunk and clank, and you can hear right away when it needs an oil change, like right now, because of the ticking at a certain RPM rev, you know. Learning your bike, you know. Now, if you get a really nice new Honda, I heard they're fantastic, and you don't have to worry so much. And they have it's basically electronic shifting. You don't have to use it. It's clutchless. You got one, but really just to get out of first gear. Everything else is clutchless, believe it or not, from what they're saying. I seen a guy had one. You don't even have to use your clutch to shift. And pretty cool. Look at that old WRX, but rusty. That's the problem. You'll never beat rust. You got to cut it off and replace it. Or really, you know, sand it off if it's at surface level. But in Wisconsin, it's all rust, you know. Rust is the problem. Once it's infected your vehicle, it just becomes almost, yeah, enjoy it and run it into the ground, but awesome. But finding one without rust is almost impossible. Something without rust. Bikes, not so much, because they're mostly aluminum. They should make cars out of aluminum, but they're too cheap to do that. They got to use cheap fucking steel. God, I miss the past so much. Not people as much, but the past, just the feeling of things. Like, I'll see something and it'll remind me of something in the past. Like when we drove by that window and all them TVs were lit up, it reminded me of that old Circuit City when you drive by and see all the TVs and stuff. And you get this smell of that carpet and all that shit's gone. Like, we are never going to get that back. Back when, like, you had to fucking woo, W-O-O, like, woo, like, come on in. You had to, like, woo the consumer, like us. Like, you had to get them in the door, you know, and, like, you had competition, so they, like, you had Chuck E. Cheese had the fake band that was playing, and I was the mouse that walked around. You had to get people in the door one way or another, right? Now it's not like that. Now it's like, fuck you. If you don't want to buy the product, don't buy it. It's coming from China. It's in a warehouse. Go pick it up and pay a premium. We don't care about you. Period. Basically. End of subject. We don't give a shit about your experience. They don't, you know. They got us hooked on the heroin, and now we're addicted to it, they don't care about. That's it. Because people won't go without buying that new TV. They won't go out without a new product, you know. And if they did, they'd have to come back to wooing us again. They'd have to say, fucking, we got to get them in the store. We have to sell this product. We look at it. Look at that asshole. He's showing off to me. Why? I'm an idiot. Why the fuck? What am I going to do? Race you in that ugly truck? We have to, they don't have to do that no more. They don't have to offer us anything to be their, look at, he's right at the light. Look at, they don't have to offer us anything to be their customer, their consumer of their product. They learned their lesson. You go into Best Buy, remember how there used to be, it used to be all like, you could have like, you'd have stations to try, this guy's going to try to race me or what? You'd go to Best Buy and fucking, you go to Best Buy and they'd have like fucking, all different stations for trying. Remember that? Remember all Sega Genesis and Nintendo and shit? And we were all kids and they had to sell us on a product. He didn't want none of this. Although I really don't want to race because I'll end up in jail. The first time I try some shit like that at a stoplight. Remember those days, Toys R Us, and they don't have to do that for us anymore. They got us addicted to the heroin, which was the video game consoles, the lies, the 64-bit, it's 128-bit, it's, you know what I mean? They got us addicted and hooked on the fucking drug, and then they started cutting the heroin so that we're not getting a fix anymore, just enough to keep us going. We got fucking spoiled rotten back then. I talked about nothing for like 40 minutes. I drove to Walmart way out of town. But the good news is I only spent $3 on gas, if that. You know, that truck is still behind me. He's still giving her. What are you going to do? Go past the... Should we race past the police station? Fucking asshole. I shouldn't say he's probably a good kid, but probably in his dad's truck. We're going right by the police station right here. The main police station. Should we race right by the police station? This fucker, look it. Like he's gonna beat me in that trail boss. Get the fuck out of here. I'm on a goddamn rocket. Are you fucking high? People are so high. I'm not saying it ain't fast. I'm not saying it might not be fast for a little fucking I'm not saying it ain't fast for a little car. Truck. You're gonna beat my rocket? You fucking crazy? I ain't doing it. That's why I turned. I'm not doing it with him. I was the same way when I had cars too, so I should shut the fuck up. I just, that all flashed in my head like, oh, Switch, shut the fuck up. You were just as bad. You're probably worse than these kids now. Yeah, that's true. I was. Yeah. I thought I could race anybody. What the hell am I talking about? I thought I could beat anybody in some of my cars, and they were junk. I had a fucking, what do you call it? Johnny, what was that car, that fucking purple turd that I used to drive around? Called 5-speed, 2-liter, 2.5 liter, the fuck was it called? Dodge, not a celebrity, a Dodge, now I'm gonna fucking think about it all night. That little bastard was quick though. But I used to think I could beat anybody with it until the first V6 Camaro beat me with a 3.8. But it took a while down the track. But it was a Dodge what? Shadow or something? Dodge, it was a fucking gay car, I'll tell you that. It's always something, isn't it? Work on this, work on that. This needs an oil change, and the fucking oil's $20 a quart, okay? You're not going to put fucking cheap oil in this bike. It's only got 2,500 or 3,000 miles on an oil change. It's got Mobil 1 full synthetic 4 racing engine oil. 4T racing engine oil. It's $20 a fucking quart. It's a $25 oil filter. It's 3 quarts. You're talking $70 minimum it's going to cost me. More. $80 to change this oil for 1 year. 1 year of riding. 1 summer of riding. $80. Look at that. That 50s, what is that, a Chevy? He's going through the yellow up there. It's a 50s something there. Grease Lightning fucking car and shit. Beautiful. Those motors were just as much work as a bike. You had to rebuild the top ends of the motors every 30, 40,000 miles. The what do you call it, clearances, valve clearances would widen, or they had like brass inserts, and you had, dude, they were a whole job in themselves in the 50. That's why Grease Lightning, you see them working on the cars, because the kids all had to work on the cars, because the first cars they would get, they'd have to rebuild the top end of the motor, would be leaking from just warping and I don't know if warping per se, but like head gaskets and all that stuff had to be replaced every 50,000 miles in the 50s. They didn't make engines where if you took care of them like now, they'd run for 300,000. They had inserts for the valves, and they had all types of stuff that would wear uneven, and you'd have to work on them. Cops left. Yeah, the vehicles were just heavy duty, but different. You know? Heavy duty, but completely different. You had to be a gearhead just to have a vehicle back in the 50s. What a different time to be alive. We went by my old buddy's house. He was in the garage. I thought about stopping by, but I don't know. He's got some bad blood in him towards me or something, or people in general. My little buddy there. We used to be really close friends when I grew up. Little Michael. I don't even talk to him anymore. I texted him one day and said, you want to go for it? Because I got my old dynos and shit. And I said, you want to go for a bike ride and shit? He never got back to me, so. I don't know. We've had our spats and arguments and shit, but it's all good. I wasn't going to bother him. I thought about rolling over right in the garage there and saying hi, but it's all good. You know how it is. Time goes by. People move on. They don't want to be your friend, or they don't, you know, it is what it is. Or maybe it's not even the fact they don't want to be your buddy. Maybe it's just the fact that they got so much going on in their lives. And I'm not going to force my way into anybody's life. Hope everybody has a good day. This guy looks like he's got a little garage going over there. Little bar in his garage. Everybody's got their own thing. Have a nice night.